Hello and welcome. This is Melsgunner, and we're back with some more Battle Brothers. In the end of the last video, I was discussing resting out the night in Dornthaal, and then waiting until morning to travel in the daytime to Hohenau, which is the end of our journey. As we have a patrol route, we go to Hohenau and we get the gold that we've accrued, 480 crowns for completing the mission, and then another 70 crowns per head. We've killed 8 bandits so far, so not a bad amount of money there. But we have six days to complete that journey. So I'm actually thinking about, rather than resting in Dornthaal, just doing a detour up to Grafenberg and buying a couple dogs, as I am missing a couple from what I was looking at here. So we have 1 dog, missing 1, 2 dogs. So we need 2 to fill ourselves back up to where we were. So I think that's the game plan for right now. Question is, do we have food to make that journey? We have 3 days worth of food. I think it will last that long. So I'm going to go ahead and route to Grafenberg. We do have a couple injuries to our crew. The main one being on Rabe. He has the leg muscle pierce wound, which is going to take 2 to 5 days to heal. More than likely, this mission will be done by the time that happens. He also has light wounds, but they're not necessarily severe. So I don't think I'm going to worry too much about that injury. I think we're just going to go right to Grafenberg. So that's the game plan. And let's get heading out here. So this will be traveling in the night, which could put us at a disadvantage. And as I said, we do have wounds to consider. There are some tracks here and some past battles. Alright, I actually don't want it to route the way it is. I want to stick on the road. The tracks went off in a different direction than what we're going in, so for the meantime, I think we're fine to travel along the road. And we have the Grafenberg company right in front of us, so at this stage, I think we're fairly safe. If anything happens, we can assist the Grafenberg company in attacking people. As a matter of fact, that would actually be ideal. And it looks like the Grafenberg company is going the same place we are because, hey, they're the Grafenberg company and we're going to Grafenberg. So I guess that makes perfect sense. Alright, so there's nothing really encountered on the road. We'll do our business and then we'll get going. We have 5 days to get to Hohenau. I think we'll have plenty of time to do that. Mostly we're just coming to the kennel and we're buying a couple of these war dogs. And we'll assign them to the appropriate men. I don't know if I really... how much I think the war dogs are worth their investment. I feel like if they were a little bit more combat capable, I could justify that cost a little bit more easily. But at the moment, I think they cost quite a bit for what service they give you. Mostly they're just a distraction that oftentimes goes down pretty easily. I mean, the armored dogs are a little bit more sturdy than the unarmored dogs, but they're not any more capable, so I just wish they were a little bit more capable than they are. Alright, well, I will check out the armorer, but I don't think we're going to find what we're looking for, as we tend to get charged quite a lot here. For example, the scale armor, we could afford if they were charging us what it was worth, but they're charging us much more than it's worth. A full more than 1,600 gold beyond its worth cost, which is more than I can afford, obviously. And as a matter of fact, I am going to pass on that. I don't think there's going to be any other armor here that fits the bill. I mean, technically the lamellar harness, but it would normally be worth 3,000 gold, something that we could afford, but they're charging us 1,200 beyond that. So as much as a big town like this has better inventory than Hohenau, the prices tend to be not the greatest. Alright, so I think we're just going to move on. As far as the marketplace, I don't expect to see great prices here, except possibly for tools. Tools, that's fairly affordable for tools, so you know what? I'll go ahead with that. We might be able to get a better price at Hohenau, but This is not a bad price. I've seen these go for, 300 plus, so it's only 25 more than what it's worth, so I'll take that. The medicine, on the other hand, medical supplies, definitely not worth it. All right, let's go ahead and leave. We did what business I wanted to do. And considering that the Grafenberg is, a little bit on the periphery of our normal travel zone, I think it was good to do that while it was on our route. All right. So we're going to get back on the road. If we encounter any rogues or other opponents on the road, I more than likely am going to fight them. We still have a little bit of light wounds here. We've cleared up the injury to our man in the back, so really it's just this one man with the pierced leg muscles that could clear in 1 to 4 days. 4 days is quite a long time, though, so we'll see about that. I'm going to go ahead and take a more direct control over the routing, just so we don't go over mountains or something like that, when we can go over much faster roads. And I think a lot of the action tends to happen on the roads. Now, the downside of doing the detour we did is it looks like night's going to fall here before we get to Hohenau. And I'm a little bit concerned about this particular spot here. This looks like a great ambush spot for bandits. And I don't know if I've seen a lot of combat necessarily, but nice wooded terrain that our road goes through at night. Seems like a prime ambush location to me. But so far, pretty quiet on the road, so it looks like we're going to have an uneventful end to this mission. Now, we do have some tracks here, but they just appear to be caravans. So let's go ahead and go to Hohenau, finish this mission. So far, our relationship is at its best with House Harken here. Kind of slow, though, building up these relationships. All right, there's a party going on at the Count Hartmann von Harken's abode. You weave through the crowd, drunken opulence, you weave through the crowd, drunken opulence to get to the man. I'm assuming that was meant to be crowded drunken opulence. That seems to make more sense to me. He shouts over the music and noise, asking how many you cut down on your patrol. It's odd, but shouting that you killed 8 seems to have no effect on the partygoers. Shrugging, Count Hartmann von Harken turns and leaves, slipping into the crowd of attendees. You try to chase, but a man cuts you off, slamming a satchel in your chest. Your payment, mercenary. Now please see to the door. People are beginning to notice you, and they did not come here to feel uncomfortable. So we got a little over 1,000 crowns. Not too bad. Let's go into Hohenau and see what we can get from the armorer. We should see much better prices here. Alright, well, unfortunately not what we're looking for. I mean, the heavy lamellar would do the job, but it is beyond my price range. Really what I'm looking for is that lighter lamellar armor or scale armor at this point. And unfortunately, Hohenau has not had that in stock for some time, which is disappointing. They've had it in the past when we couldn't afford it, but now that we can afford it, unfortunately, it is not there. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and buy some food. There are no missions here, so we're going to have to get on the road. I didn't pay attention to see if there was anything at Grafenberg, but I think that the faction missions are throughout the entire faction, from what I've seen. I mean, I could be wrong. Now, bread tends to be sold pretty well here, and there is no tools here, so saving our money wouldn't have really worked out. We could buy salt and use that as a means to trade. I mean, we're buying it for less than it's worth, and we could sell it on for more than it's worth, perhaps. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and try that. We'll do a little bit of merchant trade here as we move around. So I'll buy some bread, give us a little bit of food here. Maybe I'll buy 2 loaves. And then I think I'm going to buy all 3 of this salt, and we'll see if we can sell it on for a profit. If not, I mean, hey, I made a mistake. We're going to be out a little bit of money, but it's going to cost us less than 1,000 then to do this. And if we can sell it for 340, that's a, that's a profit, to say the least. So let's go ahead. I'm going to try it out. This is the first time I've tried out the merchant way of playing this game, and we'll see if it works out. Now, I don't remember. Did I sell all the things that I wanted to sell? Probably. Alright, let's get out of here. Now, he doesn't have his light wounds anymore, but he still has the injury. Now, we could go up and treat it if we wanted to. And that would be in Weisenhaus. And I think Weisenhaus would probably be a good idea to go to, even though it is on the periphery of that faction's territory. It keeps us in this middle zone where we can easily go from faction to faction. I can go up to Weisenhaus, no problem. And if there's no faction missions there, I can easily go up to Turmfeste, and we can do missions there. So we have a few directions to go in. So let's go up to Weisenhaus, where the temple is, if we want to treat that wound. And hey, if we can sell on the salt for a good price... Oh, along the road, while on the path, you come across a small army of children. The oldest and biggest among them is probably 15 at most, with a tousled crop of orange hair and a spear for a weapon. He's leading the troop, a little fighting force provincial to the path more than any town or city. As they cross paths with you, this little leader tips his head at you. Make way, we are on a righteous march and shan't be stopped. Curious, you ask where it is they are off to. The kid answers as though, incredulous, you don't know. Well, let me tell you, Sellsword. We are heading north through the frozen wastes. Uncultured and uncivilized tribes need to hear of the old gods, either by the word or by the sword. He lifts a spear, a rather chirpy war cry is raised from the army. It appears some religious fervor has taken a hold of this wandering and harmless and therefore suicidal group. Okay, so we have a few different choices here. We could rob them, which is not our course. We have two. You have to go home to your parents' kids, or Burkhard, you travel up there, say something. We'll do that route. See if our party member has something good to say. Okay, well, it seems to have worked. Burkhard takes his boots off and shows the bottom of his feet to the children. They recoil, gagging and covering their mouths. A little girl lets out a long ew to really drive the point home. The man wags his foot around, showing off disgustingly calloused skin. I spent years on the road, and most of them without a good shoe to step with. I know what it's like out there. I've seen the dangers. People stabbing one another in their sleep, killing for a bite of a biscuit. Strangers befriend you so they can betray you. And all that is when it's going well. When it goes bad, it gets real bad. You kids got no business being out here. You'll be raped, murdered, enslaved, tortured, fed to dogs, eaten by boars, bears, wolves, all things that look at you like it's lunchtime on two legs. Go home, the lot of you. A band of children murmurs among themselves. One announces he's going back to his mom. A little girl states that she didn't even want to be out here anyway and never got the treat she was promised. Sensing a morale break, the little leader tries to corral the children, but it's no use. The group breaks apart and thankfully starts going home. Some of the men are relieved as they did not wish to see the little ones continue their doomed journey. So Burkhard gets +2 resolve. That's good, I guess. And a number of people are in good spirits as well. So that is nice to see. You should probably get those feet looked at. That's true too. All right, well, let me take a look at Burkhard, though. I am not as familiar with his name. He is level 5, so he's been with us a bit. And his resolve is now 44, which, I mean, is okay. I think ideally what we'd like to look for... Holy crap, his resolve's above... That's 77, jeez. All right. But, yeah, it'd be nice to get the resolve above 50 for a lot of men. Obviously, this guy, not so great with the resolve, and a lot of that is due to his brush with death, his traumatized. I mean, his initiative is down to almost nothing. Part of that, I think, is the pierced leg muscles as well, but... Yeah, but he's a very experienced man, and he's about to hit level 7 here, so he'll continue to be experienced for us. So I haven't gotten rid of him, even though that is kind of a penalty. But that was a good encounter to have, I think. So we'll hit Weisenhaus here. We do have a faction mission. It is a 2-skull affair. I think that's a good call for us. There are disappearing villagers here, so prices may not be too good here. We'll see what the salt goes for. Yeah, it's not going for good prices, but I think we can just assume that is because of the event that's going on. They're not going to be likely to want to trade with us. It could be that I've made a bad choice and I'll never be able to sell these for a profit, but at least it tells me what I did buy it for. So that's a good trade mechanic right there. You bought it for that. You're going to be selling it. It's worth that, and then you see what the sell price is. It's not doing that with normal goods, but it is definitely doing it with this. Does it do it with, like, food and things? Yeah, it actually does. So that's nice that it does that. It's not something I really paid much mind to in the past. Unfortunately, because of what's going on here, food's going to be going for, you know, somewhat of a higher price. All right, well, I think we go ahead, we take the 2-skull contract. Think about treating that wound. 170 I don't think is that much of a big deal for us at this stage of the game. So I will go ahead and mend the wound, as it could stick with him for another 4 days. It'd be nice to just get it out of the way. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what this contract is. All right. Count Bjarni von Thura puts a finger to a map. I need you to go here. Oh, it's okay. So it's going to be a patrol. We have 7 days. We're going to have to be doing faction things, so more than likely we're going to be, you know, this is the edge, so we're going to be going over to the west. How much are we talking about? Okay, so 300 crowns in advance, that's good. Another 60 crowns per head. We've seen better, but I will ask for more. We need to be paid more for this. He just looks at you sternly and shakes his head. All right, well, we'll accept the offer. Again, we've been paid more per head, but the 300 crowns in advance, honestly, we've been paid more in every way for this mission in the past, but that's okay. I'll take the gold. I accept your offer. Okay, so we have to go to Gemmenstein. We have to go to Schwarzwacht. And then Weisenhaus, and then back. Well, that is back, Weisenhaus. And, alright, I accept this contract. I don't really see a need to stick around here. Let's take a look at Rabe. So, he'll heal by tomorrow. I don't think we'll see any action. Gemmenstein's there. I mean, this is not really that long of a patrol route. And there is another temple on this route too, so if we get an injury we can treat it. All right, let's get on the road. I think we're more or less in fighting shape, so if we encounter anything, we're ready for it. I don't expect to see anything on this road, especially as we have the first Gemmenstein company coming through. Okay, well, no surprise. We didn't really encounter anything. That's a short road. Not a lot going on. There is an armorer here, so I think it is worth taking a look at. Safe roads, but there has been disappearing villagers, so prices might not be particularly good here. Unfortunately, the armor we're looking for, the level of armor we're looking for, is not here. But oh, they really do not want to buy this salt. Okay, well, hopefully we'll find the right location. Okay, so let's get going. And we'll go to our next destination and then make our loop. 7 days is a long time to do these missions, so I have no problem taking detours. Matter of fact, look at this. Caravans don't make routes like that. Let's go off the beaten path here. See if we can find anything. There may be a camp or something like that. A lot of foot traffic this way. And if this turns out to be nothing, then, you know, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. deep into the mountains here. Okay, there is a fight. We need to get here fast then. I can't see who they're fighting. Ah, it's too late. All right, so what I think happened there is the Weisenhaus Company encountered raiders. That was the foot traffic. The Weisenhaus Company chasing the raiders, and it looks like they finished them off. So sadly, that detour doesn't work out in our favor. Oh, well, here we go, though. Let's just stay where we are. It looks like the brigands are coming. And I expect the Weisenhaus Company to tie them up. I see no reason why not to get the aid of the Weisenhaus Company in this fight. And they went right past them. Really? Okay, we will fight them. But we've got... Oh, we did draw them here, so they are going to be involved in this fight. So, some brigand thugs, a few brigand marksmen, and some brigand raiders. So the thugs are not going to really be too much of a threat. It's mostly going to be the marksmen and the brigand raiders. So let's go ahead and engage. And as we see here, the Weisenhaus Company will be involved. Oh, and we have quite a battle line going on here. Well, as far as a high ground goes, we're going to want to definitely have that, but it doesn't seem like that will be too hard to maintain. And my men have more of the middle of the line here, which it should be fairly easy to get high ground with. So, for now, we could fire off shots. I mean, this is a massively in our favor numbers. We've got 25 to their 14. Now, the one thing I have to keep in mind here is that the casualties we take are going to be the ones that count for us. So we're going to try and aim for guys that are really good shots like this, 62%. I think that's a fairly good shot, and it's worth 2 shots here. I could wait until they close on us, but I don't really see a reason to do that. I think we should just start firing and see what we can get going here. Oh, we almost took that guy out in 1 shot. Alright, well, our back line, I might as well wait. Okay, their archer's just going to run. Expect a shot here. Okay, the crossbows should be out of range. So if we maintain this range, they shouldn't be able to fire at us without closing on us first. Okay, they're looking to turtle, it looks like. Perhaps trying to find better high ground. Which is only going to work in my favor, I think. Because we can pick apart at them with archers. Their archers aren't in range. I mean, I only have 1 archer, but even still. Looks like the thugs are always usually not that disciplined when it comes down to it. And they never really take a very much of a strategic stance like the raiders tend to do. Alright, well, first things first, we should probably get into a position where we're not sitting with a high ground disadvantage. So, I think I'm just going to walk up here and then shield wall. We're going to be nice and cautious as we close up on these guys. So ideally, I should probably step up here and go with a shield wall. Okay, I can't quite get into great position because this guy is right kind of where I want to go. If I move here, I'll give them a high ground advantage, which I don't want to do. So I think instead what I'm going to do is move up this way. I'm not going to be able to put a shield wall up, but I don't think that's that big of a problem. All right, so this man, I think we're going to move here. Put up our shield wall. So in this situation, we don't really want to sit back and let their men do the bulk of the fighting. Because if we do that, we won't get much of a reward. Okay. It's enough for Gunther. So I am going to walk my men up, but I'm going to be cautious. I'm going to try and avoid casualties. Alright, because we know most of the fighting is probably going to happen on top of the hill, I see no reason why not to full march my men up this hill. At least my backliners. Okay, that guy's down. And they're absorbing the damage, so that works, again, in my favor. Don't know if I can quite... Yeah, there we go. Like that's as far as I'm getting. Hopefully our archer will be able to take some of their men down. I probably don't have a great... Well, no, actually... With the way the terrain is working, I should have some decent shots here. So I think we try and take out the man that we've already wounded. And unfortunately, not hit him. Alright, that's okay. We'll wait with the backliners. See, we're looking for heads, so we want to be killing guys, not wounding them and letting the Weisenhaus company deal with it. But so far, they've been the only ones killing guys. Alright. We're gonna wait with our backliners. Unfortunately, it's going to be kind of tough to get myself into a position to really do stuff because the Weisenhaus company is kind of clogging up a lot of the way. Yeah, see, that guy's already dead. So those arrows that I were hitting those guys with, I only softened them up so that others could take advantage. Well, I don't think there's really a point to being more cautious at this juncture. I could move up here, and then next turn that would give me the ability to move here, which would put me in a good position, I think. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright. Step here. And I'm going to go offensive here, because this guy might not be standing much longer. Unfortunately, that didn't work out for me. Here, I'm going to have a hard time even getting involved in this combat. I could jump over here, but then that puts me in a bad surround situation. So more than likely, the better move... Well, see, the problem is I want to be able to attack this turn. So this man's the better choice to move here. So ideally... Let's move there, and then I could move here. And that would be my turn, and I'm not even in combat. But I don't want to have a man die in a stupid confrontation. Alright, we should be able to get into the conflict here with Alaric. I am being a little bit more rash than I would like, but I don't see the alternative. If we're going to want to get heads, we're going to have to get in here. Ugh, I don't want to put Tornhelm in that position where he's just going to get wailed upon without a shield wall. So, as much as I hate to do it, I think I'm going to have to hold off until next turn. Maybe put him in this position, that way he could get in there next turn, seeing afterwards what happens. Okay, and this man's gonna move here, and he's gonna stab. Okay, now we're gonna try and get our pole arms into position before these positions get clogged. So I'm gonna move here. And we're gonna really go after this guy, I think. Alright, I guess in theory I could move myself here. Try and work on these guys. Move my other polearm guy here. And then reroute my other poleman to right there. Okay, we're cycled back through. I don't see a reason why not to go ahead and attack this guy. At least we put the overwhelm penalty on him. Alright. We might be able to take shots at their archers, so I'm going to step up here. See what we've got. So 48, 48. Let's go with the 48. All right, we've got another attack opportunity here. We did manage to land it and get a bleed effect on him too. I think we just end our turn. Nice long-range shot there, but then he paid for it with a return shot. Okay, well, wasn't that big of a fan of that shot that he just took? Because he shot over his allies to get that shot. All right, well, we should have a good bonus here. Down he goes. We finally killed a man, so that's good. And we've managed to avoid any damage so far. Okay, as far as polearms go, I think an obvious choice is to move here. This will allow us to attack the guy with the axe next turn. This kind of put me in an open position, though, so I have to be careful that I don't become a target for archers. So we let this guy take that more dangerous position. Okay, they did end up pushing him off the hill. That's actually really good for us. All right, one of their archers is running, and this guy's running. So we probably want to put a body on him so that we can get some attacks on him. Here, I think we just move. And we put an attack on this guy. Okay. As I said, I think it'd be a good idea to put a body on this man. So I'm going to move to here. We might eat some arrows in Gunther, which I wouldn't really appreciate, but oh well. Okay, so let's try and round the corner. I'm going to move here. Oh, or I'm not going to move there. You know what? We're just going to wait. Okay. Nothing going on here. I figure we might as well jump over to this spot. As both these guys are fleeing, there's nothing stopping me from doing that. Okay, now to round the corner. So, I'm going to move here. No, I'm not. I guess I'm just going to move straight forward because I do want to attack, perhaps. Let's go with the shield split. Maybe that guy's shield will go down if we pepper him with attacks. Now, logically, the opponent we'd want to attack is the guy with the shield. But I think I want to bring this guy down and get his head, so... Okay, we just managed to get the other guy fleeing. So let's now hit him with an attack. As a matter of fact, it looks like their entire front line is fleeing. So, in that situation, I think the wise move is to step up and then throw an attack at this guy. Because this will allow me to move this guy into a position where he can attack. We may be able to finish him here. Fortunately, no, but we can shift down for next turn. Fortunately, missed. We could throw out our dogs now, as the archers are the only opponents left, but I don't want to lose a dog in a confrontation like this that we should definitely win. So, okay, wisely, the archers are backing off. I did expect that one shot. The guy is jerk. Okay, their morale down here is still pretty good, so we're going to have to work on these guys. We still have a shot on this archer. Which is not particularly great, but I'm going to take it anyway. I could have done an aim shot, but I didn't feel like it. I have a feeling this guy's just going to... Oh, never mind. I guess he didn't have a reload. Okay, down you go. Another head for us. We did get another attack opportunity, so we're going to throw it on this guy. All right, 2 heads for us. Perfect. Okay, I don't expect this guy to last much longer. And if their archers don't move, they're going to be dead-zo too, fairly soon. Okay, let's go ahead and move up on this hill. And that will be that. Okay, no surprise there. That guy went down. Okay, this is going to give us the opportunity to try and follow these archers. I think just getting a body on this archer is going to work out pretty nicely. Gunther probably won't be able to chase this guy down, so if he wants to run, he'll probably manage. But putting a body on this archer when he does run will work out. Now, I do not want to eat a crossbow bolt that kills me, so... As much as I hate doing it, I think we're going to have to be a little bit more cautious with the crossbowmen. I'm going to come in here to put a body on this guy. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to throw up a shield wall. Okay, that guy was stunned, so no turn for him. Alright. Put another body on this archer. Move forward, slowly but surely, so we don't eat a crossbow bolt. He got stunned again, unfortunately for him. Okay, this is where we're going to get a lot of chopping done. Unfortunately, we did not actually finish him. Okay, well... I think our backliners have had enough fun. We're going to pass through them for now. Okay, he didn't fire off a crossbow bolt. That's good. I shouldn't be able to do anything this turn, but we'll at least put ourselves into a position for next turn. Okay, they're not going to stand and fight. I could try and chase and put arrows into them, but I don't think I have the range. No, so do we mind firing at that guy? Nah, I'm not going to bother. Let's get up a little bit closer. Maybe we'll be able to get a decent shot. See, that's... you know, that's not good, what they're doing there. The fact that they're hitting their own men, that's silliness. And my men are just as in danger as theirs are. Now, we definitely want to get this head, but there's a possibility that they'll be able to take it from us like that. I was kind of hoping that when he fled, all of those attack of opportunities would take him down, but unfortunately, not the case. I think we're just going to go ahead and end turns of characters that are not going to get kills here. I'm not sure how many heads they're going to give us with this one, but... this is where the real action's going on right now. We might be able to take this guy down. There we have it. I would imagine they're going to give us a flee result at the end of this turn. I mean... as much as we could try and chase these guys down, I don't really see the point. They've got a good head start on us. And a lot of my men are fatigued anyway, trying to do that chase with heavy armor. Let's just go ahead and end our turns. If they decide to do a parting shot at us, I'm not going to be particularly happy, but I'm not going to work to chase these guys down either. Yeah, alright, let's over. We'll let those two run. Okay, well, we made it out without taking a single point of damage. So, that's a nice conflict to have. Let's go ahead and do our looting. Mostly getting food here and some gold and other things that we can sell on. Probably all of this stuff, except for the kite shields, will be sold when we get to market. Alright, let's leave. So that was a nice fight to have. It gave us how many heads? 5. So of those 14, well, technically 12 that were killed, only 5 of them were due to our actions. Wolves of the Bleak Forest, that's a mercenary group. I've never had a fight with a mercenary group. Not really sure what prompts that, other than maybe you deciding to do it yourself. I'm not really even sure if there's a command. I guess there is a command you could do if you wanted to. I don't see a reason to fight another mercenary group unless they start it, you know. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I don't want to go to Cedar Bush. I want to go over this way. So that was a worthwhile detour. It's possible there is a bandit camp somewhere over in those mountains. It's also just maybe possible coincidence that we managed to encounter them there. Oh, another set of brigands, so we'll be fighting them. But this video actually has gone on quite long enough, so we did our patrol. I'm going to go ahead and pause here, and we'll pick things up in the next video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.